I did not mean to come on here.
Yo, good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock in the East. So, y'all know what time it is. Once again, we're back with you, Mark and Nick. The vibes, y'all know what it is on Monday. I'm filling in for Mark tonight. Mark is out there. Shout out to the homie out there in Parks Unknown. He probably, hopefully, he's somewhere rooting on these Sixers because probably gonna be a 1-1 situation tonight. At least that's what I'm hoping
Oh,
for. So,
okay.
shout out to that brother in his absence. Before we get into everything, I want to shout out everybody out there that's watching us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Blackjack TV channel 199. Everybody, all of our great listeners out there, One Mile High Radio. Everybody rocking with us on the Blackjack YouTube as well. All the partners in the front line. Everybody that's helping us out in the background and supporting us in the background. Shout out to the squad: Sean, Merv, Rebecca, Tayson, Tina B. I didn't forget nobody, did I?
The Sunday crew.
Oh, Mel, Street Team General, Tayson. Um, I think that now that we done got that shit out the way, how are you, Nick J?
I'm
How you
good.
doing? How was your Eastern? How was your Eastern things?
It was, I didn't cook a big meal. Um, I'm starting to get back into my roots. I was raised Kojic, Church of God in Christ, where if you weren't my grandma, she sent me back to the altar because I wasn't speaking in tongues. So that's what I grew up in. You could be saved, but you had to be saved and sanctified. So it was good. I was a good Kojic girl. I was sending people text messages. Hey, he has risen. Why are you looking for the living among the dead? So it was
That's
fun.
great. You know what? It's funny. I know you see me trying to sustain myself from laughing as far as coaching. When I first went in the military, me and my homeboy went to a Kojic Church of God in Christ. For those of you that don't know the acronym, Church of God in Christ Church, and we were doing it for nefarious reasons. I was about 18, so just give me a pass on this. But
Okay.
I just couldn't stick with it because they just stay in church for too long, and I saw some of the things you just said. Like, I mean, they want you to go beyond the Holy Ghost. They want you to speak in tongues. Apparently the
Roll
service
on
ain't
the
over till
floor.
everybody speaking in tongues and all that good stuff. But I mean, shout out to your Church of God in Christ. I'm actually
Did
AME,
you? Oh,
but I'm a
okay.
heathen. No, I don't go to church like that. My grandmother's probably rolling in her grave over that. But like I was talking to you before, I probably would go home more if I probably would go to church more if I was if it was my home church. But I don't live home no more, live in my hometown no more. And I also like I also told you I used to be in church all the damn time when I was young, like YPD meeting, choir rehearsal. I was a soloist, so I used to be in church probably like 5 out of the 7 days out of the week. So when I
Lamb
became
to
an
the seat.
adult, this gonna sound terrible. I became an adult. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to church, whatever the hell it is I want to go. Unfortunately, lately that's been you know, weddings and funerals. But hey, I'm in church, right? I know that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
Well, it's gotten easier with the Zoom and all of that. Do you do that?
You're right. I don't. You know what? One of my homeboys, he's a deacon. He does this Sunday school. I do attend that from time to time. I do at least attend that so I can fellowship. But as most heathens say, God know my heart. You know.
That is your line. My line too. Um, AME. So the mother church is here in Philly.
Hmm.
And so because of COVID, we couldn't go in, but we got to see the outside, and they have like the names of, like, I want to say the original members, but I'm not for certain. But it really is touching history.
This is true.
If you ever come to Philly, you should go.
You know what? I might take you up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'll do
let's
the
get
search
into,
with you.
let's do it. Let's let's get this stuff kicked off, and we're gonna start on a somber note. Uh, Yesterday, we lost a legend in the DJ world. DJ K Slay passed away due to COVID complications. Apparently, he caught COVID in in January, and he passed away on yesterday. Uh, COVID complications. Y'all know everybody used to be waiting for that new mixtape to come out. DJ K
Mm-hmm.
Slay. Uh, a huge loss on the hip hop scene. We've been
Yeah.
over the last couple of years, man. We've been losing a lot of brothers in the hip hop scene. What's your best memory, or what you got to say on K Slay?
A lot of yeah. Who did he work with? A lot of people.
A lot,
A
a lot,
lot of people.
a lot of heavy hitters. Work with Nas, work with Jay Z, work with. I mean, I can't.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. I can't think. I mean, there's a whole lot. That was a huge loss. Man, so young. Uh, Man, he was only what 57. Am I getting that math right? 55. Hold on, let's see. 56. Yeah, he was 56 or going on 56.
Mm.
But man, and just when you think, just when you think the COVID stuff dies down and all that stuff, another one succumbs to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So man, a huge loss right there. May God be with him and his family. I'll pull out that old school DJ K Slay mixtape if you get a
Yeah,
chance to
yeah.
tonight. Uh, and I think I got the perfect segue, going on right now. Let's talk a little bit about COVID, because we're 2 years in right now, and pretty much we're at the
Oh
point now
boy.
where we're living with COVID. I mean, we can't be shut down, can't be closed forever. So right now, I think that just about everybody's going back to normal activities. Um, from my perspective, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't particularly wear my mask like that anymore. I'm situational as far as wearing masks now. Like if I'm going to be around in closed in places, around you know a lot of people for an extended period of time, I'm gonna put on my mask. I mean, which is rare because I'm very rarely around a whole lot of people at one time. I work from home, so I'm good there. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I
isn't
work from
that
home.
nice?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure.
I think I've pretty much gone back to normal activity. I've been a homebody before the pandemic though, so when I'm out there, I mean, in certain situations, I'm extra careful because the biggest thing is bringing stuff back home to the fam, and nobody wants to do that. I mean, but I think me personally, I think I'm pretty much going back to normal for the most part. Here in South Carolina, I know it's some of the cases are rising in some states, but it's still pretty leveled out here, and we're not really hearing any
Okay.
upticks in hospitalizations or people dying and stuff like that. So we'll see. I know there's this new Omicron variant that's dominant in the United States now. Fortunately, even though it's a more contagious strain, uh, it seems to be less severe, causing less hospitalizations and less deaths. So how are things up there in Philly as far as COVID?
Um. Well, so first of all, um, speaking of mixtapes, that's how this COVID is. The variants are like dropping. Everybody's
Another
freaking
one.
out. Like it's yeah. Um. But I agree with you. Like I'm not like when that when it first like I hate to say came out or whatever. But because of the line of work that I'm in, I'm around a lot of people. My brother actually he works from home. My brother actually took my kids for about 6 months. I was miserable without my kids. At first I was like, yes. But like 2 weeks later, I was in tears, missing them. But
Oh,
yeah, I don't know if it's so. Philly had finally eased up on the mask mandate, and they were saying, okay, you don't mask in restaurants and everything. And I'm not gonna front. I enjoyed it. But then the cases went up, and so today the mask mandate is back on.
yeah. You hear that they're I guess they're just battle between federal. I mean, the mandate for public transportation. I think it got struck down. So I think it's going to be at the point now where people are going to be getting on planes. I guess
Mm.
you don't have to wear a mask and all that stuff. Which to each your own. But if I'm on a plane uh, that's air's just circulating. So I mean, we'll see how that works out. But I
And
know
out
I
the
know
window.
in a couple of weeks I think I do have a meeting I gotta go to at our headquarters, which is gonna require me to get on the plane.
Mm.
But I may drive though. I'm a driver. I don't too much. I don't like to get on planes unless I absolutely have to. I've always been a guy that I don't like planes. I just
I don't
don't.
like planes either.
I think it's a control thing because I mean it is the safest way to travel, but it's just something that I've never
I
ever
try to
gotten
remind
used to.
myself that.
Yeah, it's just something I've never ever gotten used to in my life. Like soon as one hit a turn or something, I'll be thinking, "Damn, we about to go down." And you all the way
Turbulence
up. I mean,
is the worst.
yeah. I always get anxiety when I'm about to fly or whatever. But I like
Hmm.
now the short flights I can kind of deal with, like them 2 hour flights, 3 hour. I mean, those, when you pretty much going up and coming back down, I could deal with them. But
Hmm.
my long flying days are over though, because going back and forth, Germany,
Oh
having to go
shucks.
to
Yeah.
Afghanistan and the
Yeah,
things that
Iraq
go.
and all that.
Yeah, that I mean, and I think that Iraq flight was 11 hours. I think the Germany one was 9. Germany one is good though because if you fly in an international like Lufthansa, free alcohol and you get fucked up the entire time like for 9 hours. And fun fact, you get fucked up quicker when you drink it in the air because you're in such high altitude. Don't ask me
Mm.
how I know all of that. But yeah, we hopefully this current surge, if you can even, I don't think you can call it a surge, but this current wave, it's been pretty
Hmm.
low right now. Hopefully we continue to live with COVID. I mean, they're coming out with new treatment and stuff every day. I think they got a COVID pill out there now that you could take if you get COVID and all
Hmm.
that stuff. So yeah, let's just hope that it stays. It doesn't get back to where we were when the Delta variant came out, and when the pandemic first started, when people was
Yeah.
just dropping like flies. We didn't know what the hell was going on. So enough of that. Let's see what we'll go to next. Let's see what we got on the. Oh my God, this guy right here. So Ben
Hmm.
Simmons. So yesterday, Ben Simmons' new squad that he hasn't played, that he didn't step on the damn floor for yet. The New Jersey
Mm-mm.
Nets lost at the buzzer to Boston. Really good game. And you got a lot of people out there that's wondering what the hell is going on with Ben Simmons. Me being one of them, because Ben Simmons, it's almost to the point where Ben Simmons has not played basketball. We're coming up on a year now, but he's hurt. He's injured. He got a back issue. Um,
Then it was the
Now,
mental health. Wow.
well, and see that's the thing. Mental health is one of those things you can't really take lightly, but some
Hmm.
people do use it to their advantage when they come. Not saying that's something that Ben Simmons doing. I don't know what's in his head or whatever, but he
It was
filed
a
a
stressful
grievance.
situation. It might have
Yeah, he filed a
triggered
grievance against
something.
the 76ers. So he wants some, he wants to recoup some money back from games he did not play that he feel like the Sixers owe him some money. So now he's on this new team, and his coach won't even commit to him, playing. Uh, his coach won't commit to him playing in this series. Like we don't even know what's going on with him. Some are saying that he could show back up this series, but there's a thing in basketball called chemistry and stuff like that. And KD
Mm,
and Kyrie and Ben Simmons have not played together yet. And
that's
the playoffs ain't the time to try to,
oof,
get it together, you know.
new.
But I think he can help them tremendously on the defensive end. What do you think about this whole Ben Simmons situation, Nick?
He's definitely talented, like, but you haven't played in a year. Like you said, it's the playoffs. And it's not a good time to like see like, hey, what kind of, what I'm saying? It's not the time. It's a risk, but then if you're doing bad, then it's like, well, damn, maybe we could use them.
See, the thing is,
I'm tired of hearing his name though.
I'm not
Until he
even gonna. I'm gonna go beyond being talented. I think Ben Simmons is a jump shot and and free throw, being able to hit free throws. Well, I want no, hold on. Let me backtrack. Um, Ben Simmons is a decent. Now, I'm not even saying he don't have to be Steph Curry, but he is a consistent jump shot and being able to hit his free throws away from being one of the best players in the league. There's no denying his defensive prowess. There's no
Mhm.
lie. There's no denying his way to distribute the ball. There's no denying his size as far as what being able to be that tall and do what he do on the basketball court. Uh, the playoffs really fucked them up last year as far as some players struggle dealing with pressure. And he got to the point last year where he had open shots that he would not take. He was under the goal last year, the key moment. Should have dunked it, passed it. So afraid to go to the free throw line. Now
Mhm.
I hope he snaps out of it, mainly because he's getting paid millions to, it's to the point now where they just talk about what he's wearing, and it pisses me off because I think the
Yeah.
NBA should have a fucking rule where if you're hurt, I don't want to see you blinged out on the sidelines like my Lakers. Like when AD, Westbrook, and LeBron James were out, they all blinged up on the sideline. I don't want to see y'all not
Yeah,
playing
yeah, yeah. Put the
while we
team
getting
colors
punished by
on.
20. While we getting punished by 20, y'all looking all jazzy on the fucking sideline. Nah, I'm not
Not
with it.
jazzy.
I am not with it. So let's just hope that Ben Simmons. I really want him to play because I want to see. I honestly think that the Nets they can either lose in the first round of Boston or they can win the championship. We got two teams meeting in the first round that can come out of the East. It's unfortunate that both of them are playing in the first round, but one of them are going to go home.
Yes.
But
I hope
we'll
it's not
see.
the Sixers. Philly needs some joy.
Here's where we're going to go next. You said Philly needs some joy.
Yeah, we do.
I, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see y'all have nice things, and it's not because of you. Over the years, we've known each other. We've known each other for a long time, Nick. Oh, I think over 10 years. And during those 10 years, I have met a tremendous amount of people from the city of Philadelphia. And I thought Dallas Cowboy fans were bad until I met Philadelphia sports fans. So I'm rooting against the Philadelphia 76ers to lose as soon as possible. Um, I'll always root against the Eagles. I mean, you know this. I mean, I'm a Washington. I can't even say
Commanders.
the word. I'm a
Washington
fan of
Commanders.
the team that hails from Washington. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I mean,
Has,
ain't no
has your
hate.
stadium been fixed yet?
I don't know, but it's basketball season. Let's just focus on the Phillies losing in the playoff, and
Yes, I'll see
let's
you in
leave
the fall.
let's lose football for football season. Nah, I don't know, but our franchise is an abomination. Our owner is under investigation. You heard Washington been like stiffing teams out of their revenue when we have home games. Yeah,
Oh, I
like
did not know.
our owner. How you gonna be a billionaire? And yeah, because it's like I think it's profit sharing as far as ticket prices and stuff like that. You still got to give the team the visiting team their cut. Apparently, we've been stiffing teams out of their money for years.
Wow.
But it sounds par for the course for Dan Snyder, which I'm happy about, honestly, because I think if he's forced to sell the team, then we can be competitive again. I think that curse, we haven't won anything since '91. I think that curse
Mm,
will be lifted. So
Yeah.
I actually hope more things come out, so it could be like a Sterling from the Clippers type situation where they force him to sell the team. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. Yes, I am rooting against our team owner. Okay, so this is where we're going to go next. Yo, I
Yay!
swear it's been long awaited. The last album Kendrick Lamar came out, ironically, April 17th, 2017. So it's been 5 years. And I think there's been some teasers year after year after year. And I've had people that no information at all. They're just like, yo, K Dot about to come out with an album, Kung Fu Kenny about to come back. Finally about to come back.
And that song.
But
Oh,
yo,
what's that song that he did
which one?
with the? I'm about to look it up.
I'm here to tell you.
Family Ties. Oh,
I am here for this right here. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan.
yeah, yeah,
It's
same.
if I'm not mistaken, the album is coming out next month. Uh, hold on one second. I forgot which day it's coming out. Yeah, on the 13th of next month. So mark that on your calendars. We only got like a 2 week late wait. Hold on, let's see. What's today? Oh, 1, 2, 3 week wait.
I will be up
So
at midnight. The
yeah,
13th
so
of May
this is
is
really
a
exciting.
Friday. It's a
This is really
Friday,
exciting.
so
I don't think that K Dot has made a bad album. Uh,
mm-mm,
and
mm-mm.
I still debate. Uh, I
Oh,
still
hey
have a
Tay.
debate with I have a debate with myself regarding what's my favorite Kendrick Lamar album, and that would be between Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn. A lot of people will go with To Pimp a Butterfly, but what's your favorite Kendrick Lamar album?
Good Kid, Mad City.
It's man,
I like
come
all
on,
of them, but Good Kid, Mad City, that shit was different,
it
and
really
it was
was.
right on time.
It really was. I go back and forth. One day it's Good Kid, Mad City. One day
And
it's Damn.
when he went from the song, Good Kid, and then he goes to Mad City, and you hear MC8. Oh, he just went straight West Coast. That shit was
Could you try again?
okay. Siri, I wasn't talking to you.
Hey,
She does the host.
you know how often it happens to me with Amazon. I mean, with I'm not even gonna call. I'm gonna just say Amazon because if I call a name, she will
Mm-hmm.
think I'm talking to her, and
Mm-hmm.
I have some powered devices. I have some, because if I say something followed by this, the whole pod might just go off because I got smart devices, lights, and all kind of stuff. If sometimes she's there when you don't even call on her. You know, all up in my personal affairs. But yeah, I'm so glad that Kendrick is coming out with an album. And this is the slate next one. We got some stuff coming like this Friday. Pusha T album dropping. Friday after that, I'm not a huge fan of Future, but he has an album coming out. Uh, and then that following Tuesday, Black Star, which I didn't know, coming out with an album.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I saw
that is
that
huge.
like
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
last
y'all. I'm pretty
week
sure. Yeah,
before.
I am
Oh,
pretty
I
sure
can't
that
wait for that shit.
God damn, I might be waiting for that one more so than Kung Fu Kitty. But anyway,
Yeah,
damn, I just noticed that. I'm like, damn, Black Star. Okay, so we
yeah.
got some
Like,
heat.
when is the last time we heard Most Def rap?
We got some heat. Yeah, yeah, we got some heat coming though. But yeah, yeah, that damn. Hold on, let me put this back up. And so we get Black Star, and then we get Kung Fu Kenny right behind that. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and okay, so yeah, of course we said that K Dot last album was what did I say? Yesterday, 5 years ago, we got a reoccurring theme
Yeah.
of 417. 417.
417.
Unfortunately, we lost K Slay. Uh,
Oh yeah.
417. Uh, 417 2021 was the last time Kendrick Lamar came out. That's when Westman Dam came out.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to move on to our main topic. And man, I'm excited for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I know Nick J is excited for this one. We're gonna try to keep this pod to at least to midnight because me and her can go all day talking about this. I'm gonna tell y'all right
Yeah,
now.
it's time
And
to nerd out.
significance, we keep that 417 theme because 417 2011 is when one of the greatest shows in television history
Mm-hmm.
came out. So
Dun, dun, da, 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 da,
I'm here
da,
for
da,
it.
da.
I am here for it. So Game
Amazing
of
show.
Thrones. Now, before we get into it, you got some people that were you original were you original Game of Thrones fan?
No, I started watching when it was in the second season.
Oh, so you weren't that late to the party. So I felt left out. Let me tell you how I got invited to the Game of Thrones party. So I would see all kind of Game of Thrones came out 2011. I didn't get to the party until I think 2016, but I would see all this stuff on Facebook. You see memes, you see all this stuff, and you know how it is when you ain't see something. You like, damn, I want to laugh. I want to be able to get the joke and all that stuff. So people kept telling, like, it got to the point where people were, coming at you like you were a weirdo if you hadn't seen, like, you ain't seen Game of Thrones. Oh my God, you haven't. So in 2016, I decided to start watching from season one, and I just wanted to,
Yeah, I
and
think
I
you were
didn't,
bitching.
yeah, but I started in 2016, and then I stopped, and then I had to pick back up. The reason I remember it because I caught back up in 2017, right after I retired from the military. I had a whole lot of time on my hands
Oh
between the time
yeah.
I started my new job and the time I left the military, like 3 months. So I would binge Game of Thrones, and it's one of those shows if you have not watched it, like once you get past uh, season one, uh to me you're locked in. Now what did I will tell you this.
Sean.
um Say again.
I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
Sean.
yeah, yeah, he needs to watch it. I will tell you this. One thing I learned early about Game of Thrones and what I loved about that show is that they let you know very early in the series, don't get attached to no characters. Like because if you
Anybody can
and
do
I,
it.
yeah, anybody, and that's what made the show really really great. And one of the things I liked about the show as well is that it to me for most of the series it leaned toward the quote unquote bad guys winning. Like in a show, in most shows that we watch, we think that hey, it's going to have a happy ending, this, that, and third. But well, Game of Thrones over the years have had some real fucked up moments that left some of us in tears, virtually in tears. We've grown attached to some characters, and I mean, and if you're watching the show for a long time, you never ever think that your character is going to that your favorite characters going to be gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our favorite moments, our saddest moments, our favorite episodes. We're gonna talk about the characters and all that stuff. So if you know somebody out there that loves Game of Thrones, matter of fact, like and share this video because we about to get into it. Okay.
My son actually has a Valar Mor Valar Morgulis. How do I not remember this? Valar Morgul Mor I'm ashamed of myself right now. I'm ashamed. Let me Valar. It's slow in the beginning,
Yeah, most shows. Yeah,
but
it's
when
definitely
it picks
slowing.
up, it picks up.
Yeah, and what I would like to say without spoiling it for you, Sharika, is that I got hooked when a certain character died that I got really attached to. And typically, when you figure out when you see characters from from a pilot of a show, you don't have an expectation that people from the pilot could get it like early in the series. That's all I'm gonna say. But I think that's the moment, Nick, and you know what I'm talking about. That death that locked me all the way in because it wasn't supposed to go down like that, and that set off a series of events that like kind of created this show that we all have loved for over the last decade. But Sharika, please do watch it. Shouldn't please? Yeah, Sharika, Sharika. Yeah, this probably if you're going to watch Game of Thrones, it's probably going to be a lot of spoilers. So as
Yeah.
much we love you to view tonight. Yeah, please watch though. Please watch. Shout out to my
Right now, we will tell
classmate.
you yes. Watch something else besides us.
Yeah. Now, shout out to my classmate, one of my very good friends, Rika. You know, but anyway, where do we want to start? There's just so much. You want to start with the characters or what you want to do?
We can start.
Hey yo, you know what? Merv? I ain't mad because I kind of expected this. I can't. Hey yo, Nick.
All right, see you, Rika.
Hey, check this out. Nick, I had a feeling, and the motherfucker probably couldn't help it. He probably couldn't fucking help it. As far as us talking about Game of Thrones, and Merv was one of the ones that was pushing me to make sure I finished watching this fucking show and make sure I caught up. Because I remember Merv after I retired, like, "Hey yo, you got that." I caught up. I did catch up to what season was? Was it season 6, Merv?
Yeah, I think the Red Wedding.
It's too soon. I don't think I don't think it was season 6. See, the Red Wedding wasn't season 6, but
it was season 5. You got caught up, but I was ahead of you. And I said, "Yo, nigga, you get to season 6."
He told the motherfucker tell me that season 6 was gonna be. He's like, pay attention. The shit will be off the chain at all times, and it fucking was. It really was.
Yeah. Hey, yo, you remember when you was like, "Yo, I can't stand the fucking damn what was the king? What was the
Joffrey.
king? Joffrey. Hey, Nick, he was like, "I can't stand Joffrey. This motherfucker, he needs to die now." I said,
"Yeah, I don't think anybody liked Joffrey. If you did,
hey, hold up, Nick. And Nick J, I told him, you ain't even seen nothing yet. That's not even the worst character.
I was floored.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yo, hey, where you want to go with this? Where we will go first, Nick?
So, let's start from the beginning. So, we're introduced to the Stark family. The first episode.
Let's talk about this motherfucker first.
Yo.
Ned Stark is the patriarch of the Stark family. He is, and the Stark family rule the North. So in Game of Thrones, you have the North and the South, and then you have a complete wall of ice, and above that is are the wildlings. Those are people who they're not underneath the rulership of kings and queens and things like that.
The free folk.
So yes.
AKA the free folk.
And so so I think the Stark family.
Oh shit.
Their house words is winter is coming. So we're introduced to them. Ned Stark, who we just had, is the patriarch of the family. He's married to Catelyn Stark. He is the father to Robb. But don't tell me. Rob, um,
Brand.
Sansa.
Sansa.
Mm-hmm.
What's his
I know
name?
you. I know you ain't forgetting the
Three-eyed
goat name.
raven. Bran,
Brand.
Bran,
Brand.
Mm-hmm.
Brown the
Bran,
Broken.
and
Mm-hmm.
Arya Stark, and Ned. How can I word this
Just say
properly?
this shit.
Ned is supposedly the father of Jon Snow. Jon Snow is a bastard.
It's a bastard.
As we're told in at the beginning, Catelyn is not a fan of Jon Snow. His
Not at
last
all.
Snow rather than Stark because he's a bastard. If you are born in the winter, if you're born in the north, then your last name is Snow if you're a bastard. If you are born in what, like Dorne, is it? Like the desert part, your last name is Sand. If you're born in
Oh, that is.
the country's name is Westeros. If you're
Yes.
born in King's Landing, what is your last name?
It would differ, right? Because
It
House
would
Lannister.
differ.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they have different because you got the Lannisters. Who else is up? Who else pretty much up there in King's
I
Landing?
don't know. You know why? You know why we don't know? Because the only bastard that really mattered was Snow. That's why
Yeah.
we can't remember them other motherfuckers. Those
How
bastards didn't count. I
how
mean,
House Tyrell was in High Garden though, so that's not considered.
yeah,
But they weren't what makes being a bastard, besides you can't take your father's name, you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to like if you're the son of a king, you're not entitled to be the next in line.
hmm,
You don't inherit anything. If they have a castle, you are not, like, you're entitled to nothing.
Yeah,
You
your ass will end up on a no more than likely if you're a bastard, you end up at the Night Watch at Castle Black anyway. So
yeah.
shit. That's
But
what it
but cat
criminals and
but
bastards.
Nestor's wife didn't hate Jon Snow for being a bastard. She didn't like Jon Snow because Ned went off to fight the war with the king and came back with a
you
whole
came back
goddamn son.
with them.
Came back with a whole goddamn son who turned out to be goddamn Jon Snow. That's why for Catelyn ain't like her. If he was a bastard before Catelyn, he'd been all right.
And that's fair. Let's be honest. That's fair.
Yeah.
But little did we know, we found out like at the end of we found out almost at the end of the series that she had no
Yeah,
reason to be mad because that
yeah,
wasn't Ned's son. Spoiler
yeah.
alert if you ain't seen the show before. But yeah, so that's a brief synopsis of the players, and of course you got people like hold on, let's talk about. I don't think we talked about House Targaryen, and one of the main characters, and we talk about Daenerys, uh, Mother of Dragons,
Daenerys is
uh,
one that you root for like immediately.
Mother of Dragons,
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi, you know, can't be burnt. And that was
Yeah.
a bad motherfucker, man. But hell have no fury. And a woman scorned. She wasn't scorned because she got treated on, boy. But we'll get to that down the line, bro. Because
So background. Her family, the Targaryen, they ruled Westeros for thousands of years, and then Jaime Lannister murdered the last Targaryen king,
the
The
Mad
Mad
King.
the
the
Mad
Mad
King.
King. Aerys Targaryen.
Hmm?
I think that was the name.
What was the
So
Mad
he
King's name?
murdered him. And then that's how Robert Baratheon became king. But
Became the
like
king.
even like and it's crazy because the Mad King did like some seriously crazy shit. But Jamie still carried that title, Kingslayer, and people just they hated him for that.
Everybody called him that shit too. King Slayer.
everybody. And so it just goes to show that tradition and and upholding that shit is really important. Even
Yeah,
if
but
the person on the throne is really fucking crazy.
the Lancers care more about their honor and their name after their death, and how their name will be talked about years and years afterwards.
And they were the richest in Westeros. So they gained a lot of favor, that way too. But also
Okay.
Tyrell, that's the dad's name.
Yep, Tyrell
Boy,
Lannister.
he was a rough one. You
I
like
liked
he
him,
no.
aka brother Newsy from Golden
From
Child.
Coming to America,
Golden Child.
Golden
Hey,
Child.
I
hey, do
was
you remember the?
watching I was watching an episode today where he was like telling like Jamie, when Tyrion had gotten where he was being held at the uh the castle with the what was Liza,
What castle?
Catelyn's sister,
Oh, the damn shit
the
with the damn
Aaron,
hole, the big hole in the I know what you're talking about. Damn,
Moon Roof or Moon
yeah, the
Door.
moon roof. Yeah, the moon door. With the little teenager that was still breastfeeding, like he was like 16
Oh,
years old after my mother.
that is so disturbing even to this
Yeah, it
day.
really was.
But and so Jamie was trying to be smart. Tyrion was a dwarf for people who and so that's why he hated him. But remember Jamie was like, oh, I didn't realize you cared so much for it. And the whole time Tyrell was like you know opening up this deer, I think it was, grabbing the innards and throwing them on the floor, then he's skinning it and everything. It's just like hardcore. And then he's like punking Jamie, the whole time, talking about are you still upset that they call you Kingslayer? He said the lions don't care about the opinions of sheep, and he was
Yeah,
telling them, listen, regardless of Tyrion, he's still a Lannister and you need to go get him. And he said, and make sure so and so remembers that the Lannisters always pay their debts.
hmm
That's the main thing they cared about. We rich and we pay our debts.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
they obviously play by their own fucking rules too, bro. Because
hey Nick, did you have a favorite? You got a favorite character?
Cersei.
Cersei was your favorite character?
Cersei and Jon Snow are my favorites. I listen, Cersei is that bitch. Like, a lot of times she went like too far. But I think it's because she was the smartest in the family. When it comes to like
No.
when it comes to
You
like
think
that,
you think she was smarter than Tyrion?
Tyrion is the smartest in the family, book wise, and he was really good with the battle plans and stuff when they were fighting against
Yeah.
what's his face, Stannis Baratheon.
Stannis Baratheon.
But Cersei really knew how to play the game, like
She definitely know how to play the
knew how to
game.
play the game, and
Yeah.
that shit, the episode, The Winds of Winter, the first 8 minutes, some of the best television I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, which episode was that? I don't remember all the names. Which episode was that?
I'm about to tell you. And the reason why I remember is because of this first 8 minutes. First of all, the music is gorgeous. And then you see the little kids, Varys's birds, as he would call them. You see the kids, coming down, like they stab what's his face.
Oh yeah, that's a significant episode. That's the one
where
Cersei
blows up the steps.
Yeah,
she gets rid of all of her and most of her enemies all in one blow.
She did that. You know what?
Got rid of oh, what's their name? Marjorie and Loris and Olena, what's their last name? Growing Strong. I remember their house words, but Tyrell.
Tyrell, House Tyrell, yeah.
Like she took him out, and Loris was known, as being the best fighter, one of the best fighters in Westeros.
And
She
that's
took
your
him
favorite
out.
episode?
That's one of them.
Okay.
My favorite, another favorite. I always like the battle episodes.
Yeah,
I can't.
Always
I
love the battle episodes.
Nicole, I truly. That's not one of my favorites, but I do remember the music and the lead up to everything that happened. That was really really dope. The Winds of Winter. That
And when
was
that shit set off, she just sat in that window and drank
and
wine.
drank her
Now
wine and
she
she
didn't know
exhaled.
what was going to happen 5 minutes later, but she enjoyed it. While
What
she
happened
could.
5 minutes later?
Tommen killed himself
Tommen killed himself.
Oh.
when he went out the
That
window.
dropped right out of the window and immediately see that's the part. Now I will say this:
Y'all gonna fuck around, make me go watch this shit again.
who the fuck should have been? Who should have been sitting on the fucking Iron Throne rightfully after Tommen died? Let's because I didn't like why you like the way she took that throne. I don't think she got it. She didn't get it the right way. He wasn't the rightful heir to the. She wasn't the damn.
She wasn't. Yeah, but she got it how most thrones is achieved. She took that shit. That's how most thrones are achieved.
It fucks with me that nobody had a problem with that though. Like,
remember she told Ned.
Who gonna fuck with her after that?
In the first season. Remember when Ned stupidly confronts her as soon as he learns that Robert didn't father any of her children?
Yeah.
And that Jamie did. He he meets her in that garden or whatever, and immediately tells her that. And then it's so weird because he told her first. And then she says, remember she tells him that as soon as Jamie, killed the Mad King, she says all you had to do was step up and sit on the throne, and then this would have been yours, but you didn't. And so Robert got the throne.
Damn.
Cersei stepped up and got on and sat on that throne.
That's a part. That's a part I forgot about. I just didn't like the way she took it. But boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy, talk about ruling with an iron fist.
Got pretty bad, and that's when she started wearing all that black shit. When she watched that sept blow up, then she was just wearing black dresses with the with she always wore shit. Not always. It wasn't until after Robert died. Remember, she would wear metal and shit.
Right.
But she had told Marjorie that it's always good to have a little bit of armor. I've watched this after every single season. No, after every single season ended, I would go back and watch it from the beginning. Before the season started, I would go back and watch it from the beginning so that I could remember everything.
Wow. So Winds of Winter is one of your favorites. Man.
The one battle at the wall is my favorite. I can't remember who they're fighting.
This isn't the one where they were fighting the Night Army, is it?
The Night's Watch. They might have been fighting. I guess they would have been fighting the Wildlings.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. My one of my favorite episodes. I actually have two, but I can't decide between my most favorite one. And I remember the title.
Sometimes you can't choose.
I think my favorite episode. Damn, I want to say The Long Night. I think I got to go with the Battle of the Bastards. That was a fucking epic episode. That shit was.
That was a really good
that was a really good fucking episode.
It was.
At Battle of the Bastards. And like Merv alluded to earlier, when I first started watching Game of Thrones, when Joffrey became king, all I kept somebody got to do something about this.
It was awesome.
I would call complaining to Murray. I'm like, yo, somebody got to kill this dude. It was like, man, he ain't even the worst. He ain't even gonna be the worst character. I'm like, what? There's somebody fucking worse than fucking Joffrey. In
Yeah,
steps
unfortunately.
Ramsay
Snow.
Bolton.
Well, yeah, he did take his dad's name after a
He
while.
did take his dad's name, but boy, Ramsay was a motherfucker, man.
Horrible.
Ramsay best skill was, I mean, he was a expert arrowman, but he skinned people alive. His mark was skinning his enemies alive and disfiguring them and all type
Well,
of stuff.
yeah, their sigil was the flayed man, if I remember correctly.
Right. And he ended up taking literally taking up Theon Greyjoy's manhood, and kind of messed with him in the process, making it seem like he was helping him out to escape and stuff like that. And
Yeah, he plays
you
mind
know,
games.
he literally took this man's knighthood, took this man's manhood. Started calling him was it Greek? What did he call Theon? Greek? My name is Greek or something
Was
like
it
that.
something like that?
But
He wouldn't answer to any other name.
yes, he would not, because the
Reek.
dude Reek. Like, yeah, my name is Reek. My name is Reek. So much so that Ramsay had that dude trained. He got to the point where Sansa tried to get him to snap out of it so she could escape when Peter Baelish hand her over to Ramsay on a platter, but he just couldn't shake it. I mean, fortunately for Theon went out like a G. He got his balls back, not literally, but he went out great to me in the long. It's to me it was the honorable way of him going out after all of the fucking mischief and all the crazy shit that he
Yeah.
caused, but that was the best way for him to go out. And the long night was probably my heart attack episode because it really looked like an insurmountable. Like, it really looked like when they sent the fucking Dothraki in their first, and like it took out like fucking half of the fucking Dothraki like right out the gate. I'm like, how the fuck are they supposed to win this war?
Mm-hmm.
So but they did. I didn't think they would, but man, in the unlikeliest of heroes, I want to go to my greatest, and this might lead into my greatest Game of Thrones moment. Do you have a greatest Game of Thrones moment? In the entire, your
Mm-hmm.
favorite moment, the entire series.
Well, you mentioned the Battle of the Bastards, and when no, there was a younger one. It wasn't just Rob and Bran. What was the other brother's name? The little one.
Is that the one that got killed by Ramsay when he was playing games with
Mm-hmm.
John right before the
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Bastards?
And
Damn, I
so then
forgot
when
his name.
John seen that, he was just like, and like he forgot the battle plan. He forgot everything.
Right.
That's when John became Jon Snow again. Because remember, after he got killed, and then he got I don't want to say resurrected, but he was brought back to life. And and so remember he was like in this emo mood
Mhm.
and all of that. But that's when he snapped back out of it because, bitch, you're not gonna kill my brother and like do that shit in front of my face and get away with it. And so he pulled out that sword. It was like so fucking manly. And then, and it's so dope because they, they were losing. The Starks and them, they were losing. But you know they didn't give up, but then all of a sudden you see the wow, what do they call them, but he was over at House Aaron, and
Who?
he was playing, and he brought those soldiers in, and Ramsay looked and he knew it was over.
Oh, when they got to the wall and Ramsay finally want to say, "Hey, let's settle this." You said you wanted to settle this. man to man. But Ramsey's pulling out these damn arrows, and John is just blocking all of them, and he whooped
Ramsey was
his
a great
ass.
marksman.
Yeah, but he whooped his ass with his bare hands. I mean, honorable mention for my favorite moment is when Sansa fed his ass to them dogs. That shit gave me unspeakable joy. He just knew them dogs wasn't gonna fuck with him. She said, "You
Yeah.
said it yourself. They haven't eaten in weeks."
Huh.
But that was one person I was glad to see going. But that motherfucker caused nothing
He was very
but
evil.
problems.
But then at that one dinner, you see where he gets it from. Remember at that dinner, his dad is like talking about how he raped Ramsey's mother under a tree, and he's just saying that over dinner. It was like
Right, yeah.
dinner talk to him, and so it was bizarre. It was bizarre. Sansa's at the table, and Reek is somewhere with the bottle, or the wine, and he's just waiting to serve somebody, and he's just telling this crazy fucking story about how he raped Ramsey's mother, and that's how Ramsey came about. It was strange.
Damn, I don't even remember that shit. Damn.
Yeah, that was a crazy fucking house. But when you're known for flaying people, skinning people, you got to be nuts.
Let's move on to talk about one of the most talked about episodes of all time, and it happened early. I wouldn't say early on. I'd like to say midway. But let's talk about the Red Wedding.
The thing that devastated many of us, including you. And they say that the book, I have the books downstairs, but it just seems pointless to read the books because George R.R. Martin is not, I don't know how far he is from writing his next book, which is called The Winds of Winter. And so, I just want to wait until, he actually can,
Right.
So I can read like all of them in a row. But they say the book version of this episode is even worse.
Really? Well, as I told y'all, I was late to the party, and when I saw the Red Wedding, this was my. When I saw the Red Wedding, I thought I was done watching Game of Thrones because I'd never seen an episode where the so-called, who I like to say is the good people, the Starks, took such a heavy loss. Whereas, and this is why this is a show that was really intriguing, because you lost two day one characters at the end of an episode that you thought was going really, really well. And the Red Wedding just happens, where it's just the ultimate betrayal by that was Ramsey's father, right? Was it Bruce? Hold on. Was
Ramsey
it Bruce
Bolton.
Bolton? Bruce Bolton, was that his name?
No, Ramsey Bolton. No, Roose Bolton. Roose Bolton.
Yes, Roose. So Robb Stark, who's I think House Frey pledged some men, but the pledge went,
Greyjoy.
whereas
Greyjoy. No, you're right, Frey.
Yeah.
Greyjoy's is
So House Stark was trying to get some men, to fight for their cause against the Lannisters. So he got with House Frey, and the rules were, hey, I mean, shit, I'll
cross his bridge.
Huh?
They needed to cross the bridge.
Right. And in order to cross the bridge, y'all know crazy shit used to happen back then. So I'll let you cross this bridge, but you got to marry one of my damn daughters or whatever. So he agreed, but it just so happened
they're an ugly bunch,
right?
Him included,
right. I think it was one in which they made a deal at the end. But let me tell you how we get to the Red Wedding. So, Robb Stark promises he'll marry, one of Walder Frey's daughters, because that's how they did back then. Allegiances were a thing where you had these arranged marriages, and that's how you created these allegiances. So Robb Stark, on the road to try to get to King's Landing to avenge his father's death, he meets a field medic, and he falls in love with her. So he shows up at the phrase with this with his soon to be wife. I think he had already married her. No. Oh yeah, he had already married her. Um,
And
so
they did it supposedly in secret, but the word got out.
Walter Frey was just totally Walter Frey a funny dude because Walter Frey was pretty much saying, "I bet if she takes that dress off, everything stays in place." He said, "But he said something. I'll break a
He was
thousand olds if I
jumping
can get.
down. It was so
I break
creepy.
I break a thousand olds. Like dude being totally disrespectful, sexist, ignorant, right out in the open. He pretty much said, "Yeah, I break my old too to fuck that." That's pretty much what he said. He break a thousand old load. He's like, I bet if she take. He said, I bet if she takes that dress off, everything stays right in place. I'm like, wow. So anyway, everybody thinks everything's on the up and up because I want to say who was it? Rob's was it his uncle? They was able to still create the allegiance. Uh, was it Rob's uncle or cousin? I forgot the dude name, but he ended up marrying one of Walter Frey's.
Oh yeah.
It happened to be the one that actually looked decent, so he was happy. But he thought he had to jump on the grenade, but it turned out that okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and
Oh
I'll
yeah.
marry her.
It was
And when
like
he saw her, he was happy. He was
high
pleased. So they're doing this wedding. We thinking everything on the up and up. The allegiance is formed. Then all of a sudden, I think Catelyn sees that Bruce has on some
armor or something.
armor or something like that, and she jumps up because they're playing the. I forgot the name of the song, but I forgot the name of the damn song, but that was a point of reference that they were playing during the Red Wedding, and that's when
oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
man, I
Tip
forgot
of
the
my
name.
tongue.
But that's when
The reigns of Castamere.
Castle Rock, the reigns the reigns of Cat. I know. Starts with a K or a C, one or two, but I know. Yeah. But anyway, so
Yeah, the
this is
reigns
when
of
the
Castamere.
Casimir, yeah. So that's when the betrayal starts, and it starts off by one of Walter Frey's men stabbing Rob's wife in the stomach, killing her.
And she was
And they
pregnant.
just and they just start stabbing Rob Stark and shooting multiple arrows at him, and it's just all of the Stark men started. Now they let the uncle that just married the Frey daughter. They let him live, but they put him in captivity if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Catelyn, in an effort to try to stop the carnage from going on, because she didn't want her son to pass, she got one of Walter Frey's daughter, I believe, and had the knife to her neck or whatever. And Walter Frey, being the cold motherfucker that he is, pretty much said, "Fuck it, you can go ahead and kill him." So he she slices her throat, and one of the Frey men come right behind and slashes her throat. I was floored at the end of the Red Wedding. I was absolutely floored. I had
Yeah.
not seen anything like that in television history before, where heavy losses were taken by the side of the good, so to speak. But man, the Red Wedding that will go down in infamy as far as I think episodes from any series. But man, that was a whole trip. That
And
old
then
Red Wedding.
then Arya was with the Hound. Is that what they called him?
Yeah, the Hound. Yep.
And Sansa, was she still at King's Landing? I can't remember.
Yeah,
She
being
might have been
tortured. She was.
still being tortured. So and then Jon Snow was at the wall. Ned was dead. So it was a blow.
Yeah.
It was a blow.
So the House Stark took heavy losses. They lost Ned, which he was the first head to roll, and that started the war. To be perfectly honest with you, because
Rob
Ned literally died for no reason because of Joffrey. Like, man,
he
just
died
wild.
because he was dumb. He's a good
Well,
guy,
that too.
but
Yeah.
he immediately positioned himself to be an enemy of the Lannisters.
Whereas if Ned was smart and if Ned was power hungry, like seemed like everybody else in this damn show is, he could. I think he could have took. Well, we wouldn't have no show, but I think he could have took the throne if he was treacherous enough. If he was playing the same game that Cersei was playing, he would have been able to take the throne after Robert Baratheon passed. Because if he was ruthless like Cersei, he should have just started taking out Cersei, all the kids, just killing
Mm-hmm.
the entire fucking bloodline. But he didn't do that, and he thought in good faith. He thought by him trying to do the right thing, trying to tell the story of a dead man, because Cersei immediately said, "Fuck that." Yeah, we didn't do it. I know what I know you saying what he said. He said, but nah, that ain't how this shit will go down. Because I think he was supposed to be he wanted he wanted Ned to rule in his stead until Joffrey becomes of
Mm-hmm.
age or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue with Ned is Ned didn't just Ned was a jackass. Ned was dumb. Ned didn't play a long game. Ned should have
He
kept
did
that
not.
information. He should have kept that information that he had. But Ned never wanted to be king either. So I think that led to his death because
And
Ned
he
should
was
have
an
kept
honorable man, so he wanted
right,
things done the right way.
right. Ned should have kept that information. Uh and he could have used it later. Even if he didn't want to be king, he could have used that information to put who they thought was the rightful heir on the throne. And I can't even think of who that would have been at that point.
Stannis.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Stannis Baratheon.
But even Renly was like, I can have all of my men here tonight. And he was like, no, I'm going to mail this letter to Stannis. Like, he just thought that his honor was going to carry him. And it's just,
It
it's
it it
sad.
ironically that sealed his fate. To be perfectly honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
his honor ended up sealing his fate.
Yeah.
So that was the red wedding was
Worst moments.
one of my saddest moments. Another sad moment was when God, I forgot her name, when she got beheaded. Uh, she got captured and beheaded by Cersei. Daenerys's kind of like right hand woman. I forgot the oh man, I
Oh,
forgot her name. The commander of the Unsullied, his girlfriend. Damn, I forget. Why
yeah.
am I forgetting her name right now? That was sad. Um,
That is, yeah.
in sharp contrast, Joffrey's death gave me unspeakable. He died exactly how his little ass
He
needed
died
to
an
die.
awful way. And that
He
is
died
true.
very awful, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. He went exactly how he needed to go. Um, it is amazing how you can just blame somebody without having no evidence, and that shit just like it immediately blamed Tyrion. Like
But he
wow.
was holding the wine goblet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he
That is.
smacked Joffrey and said something to him in anger, and there were witnesses.
And also, he told. I guess they had a really good case against him. I don't think so, but they had a good case
Well,
against him
they
because
hated
he
him.
told. Yeah, because he was a dwarf. But remember, he told Cersei one day everything that you care about is gonna go away or something like that. They used that against him in court, which was
Mm-hmm.
wild. Which was wild to me. But I would like to talk about. Let's see.
My saddest moment, Hard
Yeah, what
Home
was
was
your
a
sad moment?
really good episode.
Which one?
It started off Hard Home. It started off so slow when they're telling people about how the Dragonstone, Dragon Glass can kill the White Walkers and everything, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden, it starts snowing, and then you see the king of the White Walkers and his crew, on top of that mountain, and the episode just gets crazy from there. But there was this woman, this really tough woman that was, you just knew that she was going to be, sorry for the ambulance sirens. Sounds like a fire truck. But it felt like, okay, she was going to be a long, like a reoccurring character, or she was going to be in addition to the cast. She only lasted that episode.
Who was that?
The lady. She had the two daughters that became, that got eaten by the White Walkers. And so then they turned in, not White Walkers, the Whites. They were eaten by the Whites. And then they were and then she just kind of, you have to watch that episode. It is such a good episode. And so then they're all fighting the White Walkers, and then she gets killed. Then she sees her children, in that state. And so then she just like goes like this, and they hop on top of her and eat her.
What the hell?
That was a good episode. And then the people that got away, they just got away. And then the king of the White Walkers goes like this, like, you can't beat me. I'm letting you get away. Was such a good episode.
Man. The Long Night and Battle of the Bastards for me. I'm trying to think of it. There was another episode where they were fighting there was a small fight with the army of the dead. It was a wildling. Oh yes! Oh, I remember her. Yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, that's. And I was talking about, that's the battle I was talking about, because they because what was so demoralizing is when John and them got away, where it was a water separating them. He raised his arm, and everybody that they just killed, which, oh my God.
That's right. He raised them up.
And all of them raised up. And one demoralizing moment was when they pulled that damn dragon that they killed out of that fucking ice, and that eye opened, and the episode went off. I was so demoralized. Yeah, I'm like, they can't win. They can't fucking win.
It was like at one time, you thought that they were just mindless zombies, just going around, just turning. But then, like, you start realizing that no, the White Walkers, at least they have intelligence, and they have a game plan. And I think that made it like really scary. And when you could see like more and more how much power he had, that shit got real scary when he raised all them up.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite episodes. Like I said, all of the battle episodes, those are like my favorite.
Yep, that one, Battle of the Bastards, The Long Night. Yeah, man. Okay, so what have we not talked about yet? Okay, as far as...
Let's not talk about that last season.
Huh?
We can talk about anything except for that last season. Oof.
No, there is one good moment there is some good moments from the last season.
We got to see I think the Hound fight his brother, Clegane Bowl.
Yeah, that was
the mountain.
That was a good battle.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the same episode where Daenerys destroys King Landon, all right? Yeah, that was a good one. That was a real good one. But the greatest, I want to talk about the greatest moment.
I'll tell you one of my favorite moments. When Khal Drogo was fighting that one guy, and then the guy stabs him in the chest, and he just brushes it off like nothing. And then then Khal Drogo kills the guy, pulls out his tongue, is like, ugh.
Boy, I heard y'all women need a moment when that shit happened, boy. Like, I don't know women that don't love that part.
But it was very, very sexy. It was.
Okay. I will tell you, man, my favorite moment was probably the most unlikely moment. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's unlikely at the beginning of the series. But if you had told me at the beginning of the series that the army of the dead would be taken down by one Arya Stark, one of the baddest motherfuckers ever been on Game of Thrones. But when she came through and that Night King caught her, I'm like, oh my god, Arya about to fucking die. Then I forgot that Arya, she is she
She is
down with the
that
many
bitch.
faced people, right? she down.
She learned from like
the girl
many
is no
different
one.
schools of battle.
So Arya Stark, man, you got to realize Arya Stark is the hero to me of the entire series, simply
Mhm.
because
I'd agree.
she she's single. Well, I would say single handedly. I mean, everybody chipped in, but her killing
They were
the Night
losing.
King ended the battle. Totally and utterly ended the battle. Like, who would have thought that killing him would just make the dead army not existent? But
Hmm.
she charged him and she jumped at him in the air with her dagger. He caught her in midair. She dropped it in the left hand and bam, and it just shattered. That was great cinematography, by the way. It just shattered all over and all the, you know, Theon went out like a G.
He did.
Uh
That was so nice that he got to redeem himself.
yeah, because he owed. He paid what he owed. He absolutely paid what he owed.
When Daenerys burned the guy that she got the army from.
Yeah.
Remember, the man didn't know that she spoke Valerian, and then he
Yep.
hears, then she says Dracarys, then she burns him.
That was a dope
That was
moment
a good
too.
moment. A good moment for me is when the Dothraki, when they poured that gold over her brother.
Yeah, he needed that. His
'Cause he
ass
was
needed to go. He
fucking
was he
cracked.
was disrespectful.
Oh,
And he was an opportunist, like, dude, nothing about you is special or whatever. You're like, you're riding the wave. You're selling you pretty much selling your sister off as a whore, so you think you can inherit an army of men that none of, I mean, like, this is Dothraki. He don't even deserve to, command, or he wasn't going to
and they
command no
don't
damn
even
Khal
care
Drogo.
about
Yeah,
Westeros
exactly.
and all of that shit.
And the thing, it's funny how she didn't even care when she found out he was a fraud, because real dragons, like you said, they don't burn. Like, she couldn't burn. We've seen several instances where they tried to kill her or whatever, but she would come out unscathed. And it was so cool when she came out of that little temple where they sent her, because they found out she was a widow of a cow, and that place burned down, and she just came out of there. She walked out of the fire, and everybody just kneeled down. That shit was cold as fuck. That shit was cold.
Daenerys is an example of playing the long game.
But she lost a cool. She,
Sometimes
she
it,
lost a
it
cool.
felt
That,
like it was a little too long.
that was my most disappointing moment, when she laid waste to King's Landing, because she absolutely did not happen. She did.
Yeah,
I
she
mean, she
killed the
absolutely did
people.
not have to do that. And it was rage. It was rage. You saw it in her eyes, and I remember seeing it for the first time, and I saw her eyes. Whereas I think they rung the bells. I think the bells even rung, right. Like, that's surrender. Hey, we give up. We surrender. That
Hmm.
wasn't good enough for her. She had lost. She had lost so much on her road to King's
Hmm.
Landing. She had lost so much, so she was like, "Fuck it." And I think Tyrion had told her, "You can't. You can rule over the ashes." Is that
Oh,
is
that's
that
right,
that
because he became her hand.
right? Right. Right. Uh, but man, we could sit here and talk about this thing all night long.
So
To
what are
be
your
perfectly
what
honest
are
with
your expectations for this Targaryen series?
you. Yeah, we got House of the Dragon that's coming out, and it's coming out in August on the 21st. Looking forward to it. It's
Hmm.
a prequel. Um, I think that we're going to find out a lot of things that were left kind of unanswered
And
in
the
Game of
stories that
Thrones.
we heard,
Right.
because
Uh,
they
uh, uh,
built the throne. They built a
really.
lot of those old buildings in King's Landing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm absolutely here for it. I can't wait till it comes out, and I'll probably watch Game of Thrones. I'll probably see the entire series probably 10 times. And every time, the good thing is that every time I go back, I see something new. I
Yep.
see something that I might have missed or whatever, and it gives me a little bit of a better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of people out there that have not seen Game of Thrones. And I know we are talking to Sean. Sean was like, "Yeah, it's 2022." He feel like that ship has already passed by, but like we told him, dude, just get into it, and you will be absolutely hooked because
Mm-hmm.
it's a really good show. It's a good watch. I'm probably gonna just keep this rolling and watch it again since I
Oh
already
yeah,
got it on.
you're in the beginnings.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning, so uh, yeah. But like I said, we could talk about this stuff all night. But we're gonna put a nice bow on this one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, what do you have as far as parting shots, Nick J?
Um, House Stark forever. Um, Game of Thrones is an amazing show. You when you think, and what makes it so special is, like we've been saying, people that you don't think would ever be killed off the show, a lot of times they ended up being killed off the show, whether they were good people or bad people, um whether you loved them or hated them. And it just, I mean, the writing was just very
Phenomenal.
good.
Yeah,
And even like the musical scoring on the show was just amazing. Like, you could tell that they really took their time with this show. Not talking about the last season. um so I it's on HBO. I would suggest, that everybody who hasn't seen it watch it. Especially if you are really into like the fantasy genre, but even if you aren't, there is it's it's one of the best shows of all time.
agreed. And it's funny you mentioned the stuff about the music. Like I just remember the lead up to the Long Night episode where they were getting ready for the battle and they sung that song. I forgot the name of it, but
Hmm.
man, it's just so much symbolism in this series. So much dramatic irony, all types of stuff. You get it all here. Like my favorite character when I first started watching the show was Ned Stark. That was the guy that
Hmm.
was sitting on the Iron Throne when the previews came out. He turned out to be the one of the first major characters that fucking died. And
Yeah.
that hooked me. That hooked me right when I was devastated, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this shit because if this guy, I thought for sure that Ned Stark would have been there at the end and he would triumph over everything through all the season. Nah, that motherfucker was going to season one, if I'm not mistaken. Was it season one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Gone, like gone.
Yeah, that's
And
what set it all off. Sansa
yeah,
was
for me,
like a
yeah,
prisoner. Arya started her
absolutely.
journey everywhere.
So, with that being said, if you watch this series, give it a chance. I think you'll be good once you get to Ned's death because it starts. I mean, really good stuff leading up to that episode. But like a lot of shows, it starts kind of slow. But I would just get once you get through. I think Ned died in the second to last episode of season one, or the last episode of season one. Might have been second to last. But it gets really interesting from then on. It really does.
Trigger warning: the show does contain a lot of violence, including sexual violence.
Oh yeah, lots of nudity. Not lots of nudity. Some of the sex stuff was
and
probably
rape.
unnecessary, but a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, rape, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you gave that disclaimer because yeah, lots of sexuality, lots of gory violence, and rape and all that stuff. So just be cognizant of stuff like that. That might not be a show for you, if you can't get past some of that
Hmm.
stuff. Uh, Once again, R.I.P. K Slay. We lost a legend. Shout out to K Dot finally coming out with that next album. And y'all just do what you need to do in your personal space to keep yourself safe. At this point, it's whatever's best for you and your family. I think I'm glad that the vaccine wars have died down or whatever at this point. Like I said,
Hmm.
it's good
Yeah,
for
that
you
was
and your
really
family.
annoying on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. So just do what you can do to keep yourself safe. We're living with this thing now. I think we're doing a pretty good job of living with it. But just continue to govern yourselves accordingly. Shout out to the squad. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Merv. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Tina B. Shout out to Tazon. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to Mel. You know, and we got the full slate coming at you this week. Of course, Mark and Nick the Vibes do it on Monday, filling in for Mark. Tonight, Tuesday, Murphy Tazar will hit y'all across the head. But the season finale, the season 1 of Power Book 4 Ghost, Force. I'm sorry, really good season finale. They're going to talk about Snowfall, another great episode of Snowfall, and Bel Air. Did Bel Air have an episode this week?
That I'm not sure. Me and my girlfriend, we're catching up on it. So
Gotcha.
we only watch
Well,
it when we have time.
if there was an episode, they'll review that one as well. So we got Bel Air, and you got two really good. You got a good episode of Snowfall, good episode of Force. And Wednesday, we come back as once again as we form like Voltron. We come back for the guys podcast. And it's rinse and repeat. But yeah, we just get the week started. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us. Shout out to everybody on Facebook Live. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live. Blackjack TV channel 199. Shout out to everybody, who's listening out there on One Maha Radio. And
Apple
think we done.
Podcast.
Oh yeah, once again, we are on Apple Podcasts. We are Apple Podcasts. You search the guys, you get all the episodes. Please subscribe, download, show us some love, and we appreciate the love that you show us. Think we done, Nick? What you think?
I think
All
we're
right,
done. I'm about to
we will
put on
see.
Game of Thrones.
No doubt. We'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll see y'all the next day, and whatever other time we on. Peace, y'all.
See ya.